In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some celebrity bank accounts. But that's not all. We're also going to be pitting those bank accounts against their spouses to see which celebrity wives make more than their celebrity husbands. You are going to be surprised at whose wife actually makes more than them, and you are not going to want to miss any of the entries on this list, so don't go anywhere. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Number 16. Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. Nobody is taking a day off in this power couple. Matthew Broderick, the star of the popular 80s film Ferris Bueller's Day Off, has made an astonishing amount of money over his career, pulling down approximately $45 million, which is actually on the higher end compared to anyone on this list. However, one of the people on this list that he would be losing to in terms of net worth is his wife and fellow actor Sarah Jessica Parker, as JP has managed to collect around $100 million with her acting career, as well as her earnings from her fashion company that shares her name. Number 15. Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone. Melissa brings the heat to their bank account. Melissa McCarthy has been known in Hollywood as the silly girl in almost any role she's had over the past 12 years, from Gilmore Girls to Mike and Molly to Bridesmaids and to The Heat. McCarthy has done such a good job as her loud and usually foul-mouthed persona that it has earned her roughly $60 million, while her husband and co-star in a select few films that McCarthy has starred in, Ben Falcone, is worth much less, with a net worth of $2 million. 14. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Maybe they should start a show titled Live with Kelly and her investment portfolio. Kelly's investments must be overflowing, as her net worth is absolutely insane thanks to her acting career and of course her role on the daily talk show Live with Kelly and Ryan. During her time in the industry, Kelly has earned a whopping $120 million, while her husband, Mark Consuelos, who is famous for his role in the soap opera All My Children, has made a very respectable $40 million, which is somehow dwarfed by his wife's net worth, which is insane to think about because $40 million is pretty impressive if you ask me. Number 13. Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden have been rocking their way to a combined net worth of $156 million. That's right, Cameron Diaz of Shrek, The Mask, and My Best Friend's Wedding fame has a pretty large contribution to that number, as she is reportedly worth $140 million of the famous couple's combined worth, while the rock star, who is famously known as a member of the band Good Charlotte, is worth about $16 million. I guess it ain't much compared to Cameron, but I'm sure the couple will take it. 12. Jessica Alba and Cash Warren. With a name like Cash, you're bound to make a boatload of money, right? In most cases, yes, but when compared to Jessica Alba, not at all. Cash Warren is a producer who worked on the 2005 film Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba. Cash's work as a producer has served him well, as he is worth roughly $20 million, but his wife's work as the co-founder of The Honest Company has outshined that number by quite a bit, putting her net worth at around $350 million. That number almost makes you forget about her acting career, doesn't it? Number 11. Beyonce and Jay-Z. The Queen Bee making that royal cash. Beyonce and Jay-Z have a fairy tale marriage that has lasted for almost 14 years now, and people would likely chalk that up to their similar energy on and off the stage. But do you know what's not similar, like at all? Their net worth. Jay-Z has earned a very impressive amount of coin with a net worth of $45 million. But Beyonce, on the other hand, puts that number to shame with a net worth of $105 million. Number 10. Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance, Queen of Wakanda and Queen of the Bank Account. Angela Bassett is an actress famous for her roles in films such as Black Panther and What's Love Got to Do with It. Over these films and many more, she has raked up a net worth of $20 million, while her fellow actor and husband, Courtney B. Vance, has managed to create a net worth of $4 million over his career. Number 9. Drew Barrymore and Will Kopelman. E.T., put away the checkbook, because Drew Barrymore is doing just fine in the financial department. The E.T. and 50 First Dates actress has managed to rack up quite the net worth during her time in Hollywood, with an impressive $125 million estimation. Her husband, now unfortunately recently divorced, is worth a much less impressive $5 million himself. 8. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. Her net worth is bananas, BANANAS. While Blake Shelton is a modern country music superstar, his net worth is nothing close to fellow singer and wife Gwen Stefani. The God's country singer is worth roughly $60 million, but his wife, the holla-back girl herself, is worth a whopping $100 million. Even though they both currently sit on the judges panel for The Voice, Gwen's music has earned her considerably more over the years. 7. Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson. One of these two has the smallest net worth of anyone else on this list. Spoiler alert, it's not Jessica Simpson. After a successful career in the NFL, Eric Johnson has been making considerably less money, as I guess being a stay-at-home parent doesn't make very much money, as he is now reportedly only worth $100,000. But that simply does not matter when your wife is Jessica Simpson, who's worth an insane $150 million, which is more than enough for the two of them and their 2 kids. 6. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall, the comedy star laughing her way to the bank. Julia Louis-Dreyfus may be most famous for her work in Seinfeld, but she has done amazing work for shows like Veep and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But her most impressive accomplishment might be her nearly $200 million net worth, which, when compared to her husband's especially, is astonishing, as her writer husband, Brad Hall, is worth $10 million himself. Number 5. Julia Roberts and Daniel Moder. Not just a pretty woman. Julia Roberts is one of the most famous names in all of Hollywood, and she has the net worth to back that up. She's gained her massive earnings working in films like Pretty Woman, and is now worth roughly the same as Julia Louis-Dreyfus at $200 million. Crazy enough, her cinematographer husband, Daniel Moder, is also worth the same amount as Julia Louis-Dreyfus's husband, Brad Hall, at $10 million. 4. Keira Knightley and James RIGHTON. Knightley is right on the money. Keira Knightley is famous for her work in Pride and Prejudice and her role in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and her earnings reflect that success, as Keira Knightley is worth an astonishing $60 million, while her struggling musician husband, James RIGHTON, reportedly only made $6,000 in 2014, which means he cannot be worth all that much by himself. But luckily, he's not by himself, and he will likely never worry about money anyway. Also, look him up on your music streaming apps. Give him some love, he needs it. Number 3. Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millepied, dancing into the net worth gap Hall of Fame. With Natalie's work in huge blockbuster films such as the Star Wars prequel trilogy and the first 2 Thor films, as well as the upcoming 4th Thor film, it is no surprise to see Portman's net worth as high as it is at $60 million. Her husband, dancer Benjamin Millepied, is worth about $900,000, which to his credit is just a bit more than I could make dancing, so good for him. Number 2. Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham. As if you didn't guess this one. Well, maybe you had this one at number 1, but we have it here at number 2 on our list because the one at number 1 is very surprising, especially compared to this extremely obvious pick. Oprah Winfrey is worth an insane $2.5 billion. That's right, with a B, billion dollars, compared to her husband, Stedman Graham, which we won't blame you for not knowing, is worth $10 million, which is honestly chump change to his wife. Number 1, Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady, who's only the GOAT on the field. This was our number 1 pick because I think if you asked football fans, or most men, who make more between Tom Brady or Gisele Bündchen, most of them would naturally lean towards Tom Brady, even though the truth is not even close to that. Bündchen makes way more than Tom Brady due to her work with Victoria's Secret and Vogue. It really is no wonder she makes as much as she does. Bündchen is worth $400 million, which dwarfs Tom Brady's worth of $180 million by more than double. Even if he sold all 6 of his Super Bowl rings, he wouldn't wouldn't even come close to touching Gisele's net worth, which is crazy to think about. That's the video. Who were you most surprised to find out they made more than their husband? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.